Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of the Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. Okay, so today I would like to ask the question, are women less happy because of feminism? Put another way, has feminism made women unhappy? And my answer is going to be yes, and I will explain this throughout this video, why feminism has made women less happy. The first thing we need to do is we need to look at some of the data. So I'm making this claim that women today are much less happy than they were 50 years ago, and the typical feminist response is going to be, prove it. Okay, we have something known as the General Survey Study. This is a very well-respected study out of the University of Chicago called the GSS. Okay, highly respected study. And the GSS has asked women, are you happy? Rate your happiness on a level of 1 to 3. And in 1972, when they started asking this question, the average score was a 2.75. So most women were reporting being fairly happy. In 2023, that number went all the way down to 2.15. So according to the GSS, women are less happy than they used to be. Now, the thing about this is there are 6 other studies, I can provide references to them. There are 6 other highly respected studies that show the same trend. Women today are less happy than they used to be. Okay, now you need to understand that these studies are being done mostly by psychologists. Psychologists are extremely liberal. 96% of psychologists consider themselves liberal or far liberal, and most of them are feminists. So for them to do studies that demonstrate that women are less happy than they were 50 years ago, that tells me something is going on. Because we have to look at that in the context. Over the last 50 years, women's rights have increased tremendously. Okay, I could go on for half an hour about all the increased rights that women have today. I know that currently in the last year there's been an attack on abortion, but as a general rule, women's rights in economic, reproductive, marital have increased tremendously in the last 50 years, yet women are less happy. So what's going on? To prove my point, I'm gonna quote from the Huffington Post, which is an extremely liberal publication. And according to the Huffington Post, greater educational, political, and employment opportunities have corresponded to decreases in life happiness for women as compared to men. So even your far left publications are admitting something is going on. So the question I want to ask here is, what is it? What's going on? So what is happening? Well, one thing I want to do is I want to superimpose this GSS data over the divorce data, over marriage rates. So from 1972 to 2023, women have become less happy. Also during that time, from 1969, that's when we passed laws allowing no-fault divorce. And during the 70s and 80s, we saw divorce skyrocket. So as back in the 1970s, early 1970s, 76.5, the marriage rate was 76.5. I think that marriage measured how many people per thousand get married each year. The marriage rate was 76.5. Today it is down to 31%. It actually dropped down to 28% a couple of years ago. The divorce rate has gone up tremendously. So what's happening here is less women are married, more women are single, less women are having traditional families. We're going to revisit this idea in a moment, okay? Because I think there's something going on here. So if we look at marriage and divorce data, and if we overlap it with the happiness data, we will see that they move lockstep along with each other. As marriage declines, so does female happiness. Again, I'm going to return to this idea. A couple other things I want to talk about, though, is that another thing that happens today, and this is a product of feminism, is women compare themselves to men. Okay, so one of the products of feminism is the fact that women now compare themselves to men, and this is also a product of unhappiness. Women are unsatisfied with their social standing in relationship to men. So this is another reason why women are less happy. So I want to return now back to something called gender essentialism, and this is going to talk about the role of family, motherhood, and marriage. Gender essentialism argues that women are hormonally driven. Women have about 7-8% of the testosterone that men have, and they have much higher levels of estrogen. Women are pregnant for 9 months. So because of these, and this is all the product of evolution, right? Because of these biological drives, women are much happier in a traditional family setting. Now, I know this is a politically incorrect argument to make, but I think the evidence here is extremely strong. As women are no longer in traditional marriages, they no longer have a husband, they no longer have a traditional family, they're increasingly unhappy, and women are happiest in a traditional family, married with children, okay? And again, guys, I was just talking about this a moment. If you overlap that data, if you overlap the marriage data, the marital rate has dropped, the divorce rate has skyrocketed. At the same time, women are becoming less happy, okay? Let's look at some other things. Twice as many women as men today suffer from depression, okay? Women have much higher levels of anxiety. There's what is known as a mental health gender gap. Now, interestingly, to sort of further make my point, let's compare American women to Eastern European women. Eastern European women do not have nearly the rights that Western European and American women have. I think there's a rating of women's rights. I think Eastern women, when it comes to female rights, Eastern European women, I think, are at 53%. And American and Western European women are close to 80%. Yet Eastern European women consistently rate themselves as happier. Okay? So the larger argument here is all these things passed by feminism, all these rights have not made women happier. What makes women happy is more traditional roles. Being a wife, being a mother. These are things that are essential to female happiness. And of course, these are areas where because traditional academia has a political agenda, they obviously aren't going to explore this question. But I think, again, that the data is overwhelming, okay? Women are happier in traditional families. Women are happy when they are comparing themselves to other women, not trying to emulate and compare themselves to men, okay? So again, guys, what does this mean for all my guys watching my videos? We want to tap in to these biological tendencies of women. We want to tap in to the things that make women happy. So all my guys have given up on marriage. What I'm telling you is I think there's going to be a revolution. There's going to be a change in mindset. We're finally realizing that women are happiness as mothers and wives, okay? And as men, we shouldn't give up on our pursuit of that. All right, guys. So if you like what you saw today, if you like what you heard today, please hit that like and subscribe button. We really, as I said, we want to build a community of men getting good at getting women to love us and to stay in love with us.